All right. The psychologist says that identical twins are virtually the same genetically. Moreover, according to some studies, identical twins separated at birth and brought up in vastly different environments show a strong tendency to report similar ethical beliefs, dress the same way, and have similar careers. Thus, many of our inclinations must be genetic in origin and not subject to environmental influences.
Okay, so what's our conclusion?
Thus, many of our inclinations must be genetic in origin and not subject to environmental influences.
And what's our reasoning for that?
Um, the study where identical twins separated at birth and brought up in vastly different environments, they still showed a tendency to report similar beliefs, dress the same, and similar careers. Like they have similarities despite being brought up in different environments.
Yep. And so we're saying like, hey, these people grew up in different places, or they're identical, so they have the same genetics, but they grew up in different places and have similar things. So many of our inclinations must be genetic and not subject to environmental influences.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you predict here that would weaken this argument?
So I think my pre-phrase, because it's like still like now that I'm thinking about it, I think I was looking for an answer choice that would obviously weaken it, but show that there are some environmental influences, at least some,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And though they can be genetic, I was looking for something that just shows even an ounce of environmental influence.
Excellent. Okay, so go ahead and start with A.
All right. Many people, including identical twins, undergo radical changes in their lifestyles at some point in their lives. I didn't like this.
But
Even
yeah, who cares? Okay, those are radical changes. That doesn't mean that they're not
I'm like, cool.
influenced by
Like,
our, yeah.
yeah, like rebel kids, cool, but like no. Um, while some studies of identical twins separated at birth reveal a high percentage of similar personality traits, they also show few differences. That doesn't like weaken the environmental influence
Yes.
aspect.
Yeah, it doesn't weaken that it's genetic or strengthen that it's from the environment in any way.
Yeah.
It just shows like, yeah, there's a few differences. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Scientists are far from being able to link any specific genes to specific inclinations. So I think this was the answer choice I chose. And I think the reason why I chose it was because I was like, well, if they can't link specific genes to inclinations, like then it's not genetic in origin, but it doesn't talk about the environment.
And do we need to link specific genes to specific inclinations
No,
in
because
order
they don't
for,
mention anything about specificity.
like, yeah, like just because we don't know what gene is doing it, that doesn't mean genes are not doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Identical twins who grow up together tend to develop different beliefs, tastes, and careers in order to differentiate themselves. Um, they grow up together, okay. So they're in the same environment, but they have different beliefs. So it could be their environment, but it's not necessarily genetic. Maybe.
Okay.
Twins who are not identical tend to develop different beliefs, tastes, and careers. Do we care about twins that are not
One, no,
identical?
one, we don't care that twins are.
Yeah, I'm like, we don't care about fraternal twins.
Two, this is almost strengthening the idea that it is genetic then, right? In a way,
Yeah.
slightly, because it's saying that like, hey, because if they don't have the same genetics, then these things are different. So
Oh, I understand. Okay, I missed that connection. I just was like fraternal twins. Like, what is that relevancy to identical twins?
yeah, I think that definitely strengthens the idea that it's genetic.
Gotcha.
And why does D work?
So, okay. So you have these identical twins, they grow up together, right? So, like I said, similar, same environment, possibly,
Yeah,
right?
same environment. Yep.
So, same environment, and they develop different beliefs, which goes against that the inclinations must be genetic in origin. Because if they have different beliefs, tastes, and careers to differentiate themselves, then this is like something that they want to do. It's not like that it's genetic.
Awesome. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
identical
This,
twins
yeah.
together tend to develop different beliefs, tastes, and careers in order to differentiate themselves from each other. Um, yeah, it shows that it's not environmental, but also it shows that our inclinations must be genetic in origin. Many of our inclinations must be genetic in origin. This is really weakening more so than anything that it's not genetics, it's a choice, right?
Yeah. And I think I think the reason I didn't like, I was between C and D now that I remember. The reason I didn't choose D was because I didn't understand then the differentiate themselves part. Like, I get that now that that's like a choice that they're making because they don't want to be the same, but I didn't at the time. So that's why I was like, oh, C, I don't like this answer, but like, I don't think it's D.
Awesome. Yeah, no. And so it's not, and the thing that like your prediction was still a great prediction, but the reason it might have threw you off is like we're not weakening that it is we're not saying that it is the environment. We're just saying it's not genetic.
It's not, doesn't have to be genetic in origin. Like, must is so strong that like you can attack it.
Yes. Awesome.
Okay.